Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole Frolic of Inflexible Me, and as you can tell, I'm a little nasally. I'm still a little bit congested. I've been getting over the flu, a head cold, and so I haven't been able to put out a video, but I've been so inspired today because as some of you may not realize, I'm Canadian, and I just found out that the government officials are being told to use very gender-neutral terms when referring to parents. So instead of calling mother and father, they're being told to use parent one or parent two. And it's becoming very confusing to officials and how to relate, and naturally so. This is a very confusing topic. And I wanted to talk about it today because I really want to talk about why it's confusing people and why it actually isn't a good thing. Now, understanding the law of gender. The law of gender actually exists. It is a universal law. It is cosmic. Everything that not just us as humans, but every plant, animal, star, planet, everything cosmic in its origin is based on the law of gender. And the law of gender means that we all have masculine and feminine within us, regardless if you were born a female or a male. We all have masculine and feminine aspects within us. And the whole purpose of why we are here on this planet, incarnating into these bodies, is to bring harmony back into our divine masculine and feminine aspects, bring them into harmony, to unify them, to bring in this whole law of oneness. Now, that doesn't mean that we ignore the fact that there is masculine and feminine. You cannot bring something into harmony if you don't acknowledge that it exists. It's like telling someone who's very angry that they're not allowed to be angry and that they just shouldn't be angry, but yet they're not able to deal with their anger. Where does that anger go? We cannot move forward as a society into this unification of oneness, in moving towards the law of one, and which in essence, as we do this, it is bringing us all into harmony with God or source energy, which encompasses this all. And so we have to be very careful about how we're moving forward as a society and causing all of this confusion to pretend like this masculine or feminine does not exist within us. And it absolutely does. It is universal law. And right now, Canada is trying to pretend like they know better than universal law. Okay, like the law of gender just doesn't exist, and it does. And so I really wanted to do this video today because it's so important. As someone who was born a female but had very strong feelings of hatred towards my body for being female as a child growing up. Many people don't know this. Even close to me, family members don't know how much I wish I had been born a boy. And it was a huge lesson for me in my life. And it wasn't until I reached my 30s, and I talk about it in my book, Inflexible Me, where I started to recognize the divine feminine aspect within me. And I learned that I had become so masculine in my energy that I needed to honor the feminine aspect within me. And I learned through a lot of work, a lot of inner introspection. I had to be honest with myself and take hard looks at how I was treating myself and where the hatred stemmed from, why I was so dissociated from being female, and learn how to bring that into harmony. And now that I am so in love with my body. I am so in love with being female, but that doesn't mean that I ignore the masculine aspects of me. I know that, in fact, I'm very proud of my masculine aspects. My masculine aspects allow me to be the go-getter that I am. It allows me to get a lot of shit accomplished. Anyone who knows me knows that my work ethic is very strong and I just go and do. But as a more feminine aspect, I learned how to be. I learned how to go inside and observe and be the witness and be softer with myself, be more kind and gentle and compassionate. And these are all aspects within the nurturing feminine side. And so I just wanted to talk about this today, and I'm very curious as to what your thoughts are, but we have to be very careful about where we're moving and trying to pretend like these don't exist when they absolutely do, and they do for a reason. It's so necessary. We cannot bring in unification. We cannot bring in the holistic aspect of our soul if we don't recognize that we are feminine and we are masculine regardless of the gender that you were born as. And so as someone who has dealt with having very strong feelings against the actual body I was born into, I can tell you from my own experience that I am so happy that I was born into a body that I didn't think I wanted to be in, because the lessons were there. I needed to learn very important lessons to get to a place now where I'm extremely happy with who I am. And I now know how to honor both aspects within myself. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean that there aren't still struggles there, but I feel at a lot more peace with who I am, and I know now where my strengths are coming from each aspect. And so it's very important that we recognize that all things within this universe are gender-based through the law of gender. They all have masculine and feminine in them, and we have to honor that. And when we choose to move away from this and not acknowledge that they do exist, we will become a very confused society, and we will no longer be facing the very aspects of ourselves that we need to heal, that we need to bring in together into harmony. And you cannot do that until you acknowledge that they are there. And so pretending like they are not there and causing all this confusion is actually taking us away from bringing us back into harmony. And so I just wanted to really talk about that today. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if any of you have had journeys where you haven't been comfortable with the body that you've been born into, if you've overcome it, or if you're still going through that journey. And if anyone's interested, I do offer coaching, and this is something that I'm very familiar with. So if you are looking for some guidance or anything like that, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. And I do work with many people on these aspects, especially throughout the spiritual journey. It's all about bringing us back into oneness, bringing us back into unification with Source and God energy. So I wanted to give you some food for thought today, and I hope it helps. I hope it maybe opens the mind if you were confused, that maybe it brings in a little bit more clarity, and if it doesn't, like, please leave comments in the description below, because I will be happy to answer anything that I can. And so I want to wish you all a great weekend. Love and light to you all. Remember to honor all aspects of you and to bring the love in so that they can all come back into unification. So I love you all. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon.